About 13.8 billion years ago, the entire universe began from a state that was extremely hot and incredibly dense. This extraordinary event is known by scientists as the Big Bang. But we must understand one important thing. The Big Bang was not an explosion like a bomb in space. Instead, it was the expansion of space itself. This means that space and time began expanding from an initial state. Since that moment, the universe has continued to expand, and all galaxies are moving away from each other. The important question is, what happened in the very first moments of the universe? To answer this question, we must travel back to the earliest seconds after the Big Bang.
At the very beginning, the universe had an extremely high temperature, around trillions of degrees. In this state, there were no atoms, no stars, and no galaxies. There were only, in physics, we know that energy can be converted into matter. This idea is expressed in the famous equation by Albert Einstein, E=mc². This equation shows that energy and matter can transform into each other. In the early universe, immense energy created many fundamental particles, including quarks, electrons, neutrinos. These particles were the first building blocks of matter in the universe.
As the universe continued to expand, it also began to cool gradually. During this stage, quarks began to combine together. They formed protons, neutrons. These two particles are extremely important because they form the atomic nucleus. The atomic nucleus is the central part of an atom. This means that in a very short time after the Big Bang, the universe began to create the essential ingredients for atoms.
About 3 minutes after the Big Bang, the temperature of the universe had dropped enough. At this moment, protons and neutrons could combine together. They formed the first atomic nuclei. This process is called Big Bang nucleosynthesis.
It is a very important stage, because it created the first elements in the universe. Today, scientists measure the amounts of hydrogen and helium in the universe. The results match very well with the predictions of the Big Bang theory.
About 380,000 years later, the universe had cooled enough. At that time, electrons could combine with atomic nuclei to form the first atoms in the history of the universe. Most of these atoms were hydrogen atoms, helium atoms. Before this moment, the universe was like a hot and dense plasma. Light could not travel freely because it constantly collided with electrons. But once atoms formed, light could finally travel freely through the universe. This ancient light is known as the cosmic microwave background. It is one of the most important pieces of evidence supporting the Big Bang theory. This radiation was discovered by scientists in 1965. It is the oldest light remaining from the early universe.
After millions of years, the universe continued to expand and cool gradually. Hydrogen atoms and helium atoms began to gather together. Because of gravity, these atoms attracted each other. Slowly, they formed large clouds of gas in the universe. Inside these clouds, pressure and temperature increased. Eventually, when they became high enough, the first stars were born. These stars gathered into large groups, forming galaxies. Star systems, one of these galaxies, which contains billions of stars and where we live, is called the Milky Way galaxy. Inside this galaxy, there is a star we know very well, the Sun. Around the Sun orbit several planets, including the planet where we live, Earth.
In 1929, a scientist named Edwin Hubble discovered something remarkable. By observing distant galaxies, he found that all galaxies are moving away from each other. This means that the entire universe is expanding. This discovery became one of the strongest pieces of evidence supporting the Big Bang theory.
The Big Bang was not a simple explosion. It was the beginning of the expansion of the universe. At the very beginning there was only pure energy. Gradually this energy transformed into particles. Then particles combined to form atoms. These atoms gathered to form stars and galaxies. And inside one of those galaxies there is a small planet that became our home. This long journey led to the creation of the universe and life. Since the Big Bang, the universe has continued to expand for 13.8 billion years. But one of the greatest questions still remains. What happened before the Big Bang?
If you enjoy science videos like this, please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel.